So I wanted to explain and kind of introduce people and give a little backstory about my second graphic novel I'm working on called No Heaven for a Cowboy, which you see in the top up here. So I got the name for this book from this painting, and when I made this painting I just wrote that for whatever reason, and I always loved that title, and I was like, man, that would be an amazing like story movie. So I saved titles in my notes to use later on, and 2 years later I winded up picking that name for this new graphic novel I'm working on. So then fast forward 2 years later, I did this painting here, and for no reason, but then after looking at this painting, I was like, man, this is like something. This is like characters for something. So then I came up with it in my head, and it was like super villain written at the top, and I was like, this is some kind of duo for a story, characters for a story, a book or something. So I came up with Los Payasos Loco, which means the crazy clowns. Then I drew them out full body, which I'll show next. The guy flower with the ski mask, his name is Santos. This one here with the clown mask is Gordo. Dante is his real name. As you can see here, I drew out their bodies and costumes of what they would look like, full body and whatnot. They'll probably change a little bit here and there, but this is them at a carnival festival in their town, which I'm gonna get into that in a second too. And this here is the restaurant, the fast food place I came up with called Payaso Tacos, which is clown tacos. It's a themed chain restaurant where the two guys work at. These guys are in their like early to mid 20s. So I came up with this scene, this story. We took a road trip and we passed through Tucumcari, New Mexico, and there's something special about it. It's like an old Route 66 town. It's died off. It's a ghost town now. And then on the way back of this road trip, we passed through Las Cruces, New Mexico, which is south of the border. And that is a very, very special, cool place to visit also. And there, they have a cemetery where they have this big cement square tomb where the story is where they buried a witch. So I put all these things from my road trip into this story also. This is where it takes place at. I don't want to give away too much, but Santos and Gordo, Dante, they're Mexican American. They were raised in the United States in New Mexico. They're in Tucumcari, which is very not much going on. These guys are tired of working at Payaso Tacos. They do all kind of random jobs and whatnot to try and hustle and make money to get out of this poverty type of lifestyle. Then one day at Payaso Tacos, they get approached by a cowboy sitting in the booth. So I'll leave it at that. But I kind of just wanted to explain the basis of this story because I keep posting about it, and maybe this will help open up and inform people about my second graphic novel I'm working on. It's very character rich. It's got a lot to it. I draw a lot of inspiration from like Quentin Tarantino, Kevin Smith. I always loved the way Kevin Smith had Movies, the hamburger restaurant, incorporated in his themed in his thing, and later on he could make merchandise and profit off of it. So he was a genius for that. Very character based with Jay and Silent Bob. Same thing with Quentin. So I've studied these guys, their scenarios, their plots, their characters, how they operate, and I try to bring a little piece of that into my work and my stories. So right now I'm still working on the Pumpkin Patch Murders. I got 5 pages left to draw, design in there, and then that'll be done. And that's going to be a great story. I'm very happy with it. But this one here, I'm the plot, the twist that it takes, kind of reminds me of From Dusk Till Dawn. So I draw a lot of inspiration and grab pieces of things from my past that I was very into and inspired by, and I incorporate that in my own way in my work. So I appreciate everybody's support and for following along with these projects and grabbing my books. I got 2 books out right now. The first one is my short stories and poems called Tales from the Vault. The second book I have out, hardcover, is Unlocked, over 250 designs from over the years. If you don't have those, grab a copy. I have signed copies available on my website. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for this. Appreciate it. Oh, and if you're still here, I just wanted to throw this also in there. This story, my other story, Hector, the main character with Julian in Pumpkin Patch Murders, and then this story is very, very filled. I have a long history with Mexico. When I was 20 years old, I went out there. Long story short, but I have a lot of Mexican influence in my work. And in this story here, I'm incorporating a ton of Mexican culture and just Mexican style stuff. You get a lot of Spanish words thrown in my stories. So it's just, like I said, I draw from my life experiences and apply it to my work. These are things I've been through, things that I've witnessed, and road trips, everything, gumbo soul, my life experiences. Throw it in a pot, stir it up, cook it, serve it to you on a plate. That's what you're getting in the product. Later.